I cannot bring it back, a suitcase full of books. That would be completely nuts, right? 7 times 5 is... Oh lordy, do I know how to multiply? I hope I do. Our friends over at Break Given Books, what is his name? I wish I remembered. I don't know, like I can't find his name anywhere. Just a book blogger giving honest book reviews. Hi, but what's your name? Eric. Hello. Hello. It's me, Jess. Welcome back to my channel, dear friends. I am just hopping on to do a quick, I say quick, will it be quick? Check out the timestamp to see if I really mean what I say. Right, Nola? So I'm coming on to do, to present to you my to be read pile for June. That being said, I have a disclaimer, as always with the disclaimer. I am leaving to go on a vacation, a trip, an adventure. In a couple of days, I'm heading to the UK. Very excited. Planning a trip to the Bronte parsonage. Almost finished reading Jane Eyre. I should finish just in time. And so I don't want to make any promises. That said, I did join another readathon. It's called the Dessertathon and it's team-based and I'm excited, but like, of course, don't want to let my team down. So I joined the team. Eric, I knew that. Why did I think I didn't know that? So Eric at Break Given Books is running another readathon, or I don't know if he's the one who originated this one, but he's one of the hosts, and he has a team called Celestial Cupcakes. I don't want to go too far into the details, so I'll just post his announcement video in the description box. I'm on his team. You can just choose which team you want to participate with, and each of the teams has a different focus for a different genre. For example, I'm on his team called Celestial Cupcakes, and the focus is on sci-fi, dystopian set in space. However, I don't think I have any books on my TBR that are those genres, and I think that's okay. It doesn't really matter because there are prompts for each of the teams' recipe, dessert recipe, and our Celestial Cupcakes has a recipe, and each of the ingredients has a prompt. So I will also post a link to, oh no, I guess I'll just put an image. I don't know, it has our recipe, but then you have to go and research what the prompts are. So I have my own list of prompts for all of the ingredients for the Celestial Cupcakes and the books that I've chosen. So if I read all of the books, I forget how the points are awarded, but I think I can get 70 points for my team or something like that. Yeah, okay, so the point system is: read a book with your team genre, that's 2 points. Sorry, I'm not doing that. I wanted to, but with the trip coming up, I just couldn't get myself organized. You never know though. When I get to the UK, I might switch up my TBR and find a book that I want to read. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm definitely not taking all of these with me. I'm going until June 13th. So we'll see how many I take with me and how many I switch around when I find the books that I want to read and buy when I'm in the UK. Completing an ingredient prompt, 5 points. Completing a recipe, 50 points. Completing your team recipe, 80 points. So for example, there are 7 ingredients in my team's recipe. So even if I did complete all of those ingredients, that would be 5 points each. But because I've completed all of the team ingredients in the recipe, all of the ingredients in the team recipe, it's 80 points, which is a lot more than, what would it be, 35? My brain is mushy and stressing out about traveling and being sad about possibly missing my puppy. I hope I don't miss him too much. He drives me crazy. I don't see why I would miss him. So that would be 35 points, but because I've completed my team recipe, it's 80 points. So I'm very excited to participate. These are so much fun. I love whoever created this is completely inspiring. It's very creative again and super fun. So let's get into my TBR. These are in no particular order. Maybe I should start with the ingredients that are specific to the cupcakes. So they have a list of basic ingredients, And then they have a list of the special ingredients, so the prompts are separated out that way. So if I go with the special ingredients for my recipe, I know one of the special ingredients for my recipe is cocoa. So for cocoa, I think the prompt is to read a classic or a nonfiction book. And the book that I've chosen to read is Stolen by Richard Bell, the story of 5 free boys kidnapped into slavery and their astonishing odyssey home. 1825, Philadelphia, 5 free black boys fall into the clutches of the most fearsome gang of kidnappers and slavers in the United States. Lured onto a small ship with the promise of food and pay, they are instead met with blindfolds, ropes, and knives. Their kidnappers drive them overland into the Cotton Kingdom to be sold as slaves. Determined to resist, the boys form a tight brotherhood as they struggle to free themselves and find their way home. Wow, this sounds so captivating. This was a gift from my daughter again. I get a lot of really good books from my daughter, and I've been meaning to read this for a little while. It was a finalist for the Harriet Tubman Prize and a finalist for the George Washington Prize, and I imagine it's extremely compelling. So I'm really looking forward to reading that for the cocoa prompt. I can't remember if it's milk or vanilla, so I'll just do those 2 next, if those are the other special ingredients. Vanilla, maybe, perhaps, although I could see vanilla being a pretty basic baking ingredient. And milk also is one of those where I'm not sure. So, because I didn't go back and reference this before I started filming. So let's go with vanilla. Vanilla is a book you keep saying you'll read. Okay, so a book that I keep saying I'm gonna read that I haven't read, that I keep saying I'm gonna read, another Claire Fuller book. Last month, I did not get to it because I'm reading right now Night Bitch. I don't have the copy of it with me, but I swapped out. Oh no, I swapped out a different prompt. Oh, I ended up reading Kate Atkinson's Case Histories as the first in a series for the May the Force Be With You readathon instead of swapping out the doppelganger prompt. Details. Anyway, you can check out that TBR in the link, in the card linked there. So I've been meaning to read another Claire Fuller, and gosh darn it, I'm gonna do it. And I had said last time I filmed my TBR that I wanted people to vote. And I did ask people to vote in the Discord at the time, and I had a lot more votes for Bitter Orange than for Swimming Lessons, which was my other option. This is probably going to be fantastic. I'm imagining I'm gonna take it on a plane and potentially just read it for my entire flight rather than sleeping. This is about these neighbors that this woman, Frances, is spying on through a peephole beneath a floorboard in her bathroom. And that's really all I know, but I'm so excited to read it. Kara and Peter, which is the couple, but I guess it's one of those ones where you learn people's deepest, darkest secrets by spying on them, which I'm up for. I am totally there for that. That is my choice for vanilla, a book you keep saying you'll read, because I keep saying I'll read another Claire Fuller, and I haven't gotten to that yet. That was one of my goals, and my goals for the beginning of the year, which pretty soon I guess we're going to be having the halfway mark of the year and checking in on those reading goals again. So yeah, it would be really good if I get that Claire Fuller book read. So that's for the vanilla prompt. It's funny, the prompt for butter is very similar. I'll get to it in just a minute. The prompt for milk is read a book that does not have the original cover. And by that, I think they meant, oh, and I don't have my copy with me. I think they meant like the movie cover. Like I say, this is kind of a wishful thinking TBR. So my choice for that is My Policeman, which I had on my TBR for May, but also swapped out because, as I said, I'm reading Night Bitch. So the prompt for that was read a book that will shock you. So this actually, I don't know if this is the movie cover, but I know that it's not the original cover. So I'm reading My Policeman for the prompt Milk, which is to either read something with a white cover or something not with the original cover. So really looking forward to that. I feel like this is another one that I could take on the plane and just devour. Already, I have 2 books that I think I'm going to take on the plane. And they're books that I don't think I'm going to want to leave behind either. So do I get them on the e-reader? What do I do, people? Or do I just carry my beloved books around with me? I think the latter. Butter is a similar prompt to vanilla. It's a book that I think the prompt is that keeps sliding off your TBR. So again, this is going to be another book by a writer that I discovered last year, and I keep meaning to read another one of their books, and I keep having this book on my TBR on and off, on and off, on and off. I've had it on, I think I've had it on my booktube spin list. It's Flights by Olga Tokarczuk, and I've been wanting to read this since I read Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead, which was one of my best books of 2021. I don't know too much about what this book is about. It just says Flights interweaves reflections on travel with an exploration of the human body, broaching life, death, motion, and migration. This I also feel would be so good to take with me on my trip, just because it's topical, and I imagine that it would give me a lot to think about. So looking forward to this one for butter. Also, it's yellow. It's this really pretty yellow, just like butter. Wah, wah. It's not a dad joke, but it's like a mom observation. Eggs is, the prompt is to read a book in a series. For this, I'm going to read Tana French, The Likeness. Now, I haven't been reading these in the series of the Dublin Murder Squad. I haven't been reading them in order. So I've read Broken Harbor, and I've read The Secret Place. And I read another one, oh, The Trespasser, but I haven't read The Likeness, and this is the second one in the series, and I don't think I've read the first one in the series, so I'm really going all over the place with this. I'm not reading them in order, but I think it's fine to read them out of order. Maybe one day I'll go back and read them all in order. This is the second in the series. In this one, Cassie Maddox is summoned to an eerie crime scene. It's only when she sees the body that Cassie understands the hurry. The victim, a young woman, is Cassie's double and carries ID, identifying herself as Alexandra Madison, an alias Cassie once used on an undercover job. Was this the same name as in The Trespasser? Oh, I read The Trespasser so long ago, I can't recall. This is also the book that I spun for the second choice for the BooksTube spin. I think it was number 20. This book is pretty long, and I do find Tana French, it takes me time to read. It's kind of dense. You kind of get really immersed into it. So again, I think this would be a really good one to take with me on my trip. Maybe we'll decide in this video which books I should take with me and how many. So really looking forward to reading another Tana French. I adore her. My favorite is Broken Harbor, but I say that and I haven't read them all yet. So I have 3 more books. I'm so excited to go away, but I'm also so anxious. Does anybody else struggle with anxiety the way I do, or is it just me? Traveling makes me so stressed. I've been working on my packing list for a month. It's embarrassing. Okay, so the next ingredient, definitely a basic ingredient, is flour, which is to go back to basics. So for that, I'm definitely really keen to read Sorrow and Bliss. It was longlisted and now shortlisted, I'm pretty sure, for the Women's Prize. The prompt for flour is to go back to basics, and my basics is definitely contemporary fiction. I mean, definitely when the Women's Prize list comes out every year, I try to read at least 1 or 2. I feel like this is really back to my basics, although I do really enjoy mysteries as well. But I've already put, and I do have several contemporary books. It's just that I really want to read this book, and it fits the prompt really well. I love how they always have one prompt that fits for what you're really wanting to read at the time. So this is about Martha Friel. She's clever and beautiful, a brilliant writer who has been loved every day of her adult life by one man, her husband, Patrick. So why is everything broken? Forced to turn to her childhood home to live with her dysfunctional bohemian parents, but without the help of her devoted foul-mouthed sister Ingrid, Martha has one last chance to find out whether her life is ever too broken to fix, or whether maybe by starting over she will get to write a better ending for herself. Oh my gosh, I feel like I can relate to this. I know it's about mental health, so we'll see how closely I can relate to this, everyone. Speaking of anxiety, I'm really excited to get to that as well. I mean, I'm happy and excited to get to all of these books. I generally don't put things on my TBR that I don't want to read. I mean, sometimes I'll put something on my TBR that I'm curious about that I don't know if I'm going to enjoy or not, but I have a feeling, well, you just never know. You never know how a book's going to sit with you. What's next? Sugar. Sweet, a feel-good book. I looked at my shelves and I was like, dang girl, you don't have very many feel-good books on your shelves. Like, you really don't. Like, I really don't. I need to get some Emily, what's her name? Emily Henry, the woman who wrote Beach Read. I have none. Maybe I'll pick one up when I'm in the UK. But in the meantime, The closest that I was able to find is Daisy Jones and the Six. This seems like it would be a feel-good book because it's set up like an interviewing a band in the 70s. So I'm hoping that this is a feel-good book, and this is the one that I chose. It was the closest I had on my shelves. This I might not get to until the second half of the month because I might pick something up in the UK and replace it. We'll see. So that's for Sugar, Sweet, a feel-good book. And then the last one is Salt, a tearjerker. And also I wanted to read something in celebration of gay pride. And June is the month for reading LGBTQ plus authors. And last year I read Detransition Baby and loved it. So this year I'm going to read Memorial by Bryan Washington. I haven't read anything by Bryan Washington before, so it'll be my first. And I do think that this is going to be like, it's going to make me cry. I think it's supposed to be heartwarming, but also kind of heartbreaking in the way that it's heartwarming. And it's about Mike, a Japanese American chef at a Mexican restaurant, and Benson, a Black daycare teacher, that they've been together for a few years, but now they're not sure why they're still a couple. Family drama, heartwarming, heartbreaking family drama. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. So that's my pick for Salt, a tearjerker. I expect it will make me cry. That's my TBR. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. 8. Oh, I guess there are 8 ingredients. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my goodness, there's 8 ingredients, and I thought there was 7. Look at that. Details. She ain't so good with the details. Yeah, just to say I'm traveling, so I'm not going to probably do my wrap-up for May. I'm not going to film my wrap-up for May until I come back from my travels, which will be around mid-June, which isn't like that unusual for me. Sometimes I don't do my wrap-ups until then, as it is. So I'm off for 2 weeks. I'm taking my vlogging camera with me. Maybe I'll take some footage, maybe I'll do a little short, maybe I'll vlog from there. Stay tuned, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Bye! So I'll just post, I don't want to go too far into the details. Discord, open Discord. So there's a Discord for this readathon. Brain is mushy because I've been thinking about what to pack. I can't even remember what they are. Well, the Dublin Murder Squads. The Dublin, is that what it's called, the series? The Dublin Murder Squad series? I think so.